Yes, you see the title. Today in the Academy of Wowman and your professor Leon C., also known as Morpheus. Before I begin, I'm going to talk about something that's very small, and I'm going to do my very damnness of best to make sure I keep it short and sweet. I also usually think that I need to recap every now and then on my purpose and my reason for how I deliver my messages to you. There's often times where we forget. There are times where we're deep into the mix of information around your country and your time and your struggles and in your personal life. And oftentimes I may say something to throw you off guard or make you feel uncomfortable or make your nose cringe a little bit. But as a professor here, and you're in my school today, my delivery is purposely to tell you the truth. It's not for me. Yes, I may have a book available. I may have a Patreon, and it may benefit me depending on how it is invested or how many people such as yourself support our channel, because it's not my channel, it's our channel. See, the reason why I say our channel, because it's more for you than it is for me. I live these things. I live the red pill. I'm healthy. I'm well. I cleanse. My mind is right. My head is clear. My life is well. But also, I'm not stingy. There are things I know that I think will be very beneficial to the society. Even when I decided to write this book, it was because I knew people needed this. I encounter individuals every day, all the time, who don't know what you know and who don't know what I know. And when I have a simple discussion with them, they're pretty much lost. And it's not that they're bad people. The typical people you meet daily at the store, or maybe out and about, or whatever you are doing in your, maybe even your job or whatever corporate circle you are in, you'll be surprised that 7 out of 10 of the people don't know what you know. They're not thick into knowledge and information. They're not aware of the troubles in the world. They're just going through their everyday humglum life because they're programmed to do so. You'll be amazed that the number of people who are aware, who is awoke, who have instincts in their pineal gland in the right place is lower than those who the majority of them is lower. I'm always going to stick with the numbers and the value points. It's going to be usually around 23 to 30% versus the original, while the rest of the 70%. It's usually going to be like that. And how I know this is the way that your world is operating. It's the way that your environment is detailing itself. So it tells on itself. If a person's going to be right, they're going to do right. If you get this information thoroughly and you're serious about it, it's going to eventually change your life, as it should, on a constant basis. So here it is. My delivery is to drive urgency to the matters because it is important. Because every day of our lives are our functioning, as I call it, there's going to be a mistake that's going to come. There's going to be a failure that we're going to incidentally commit to by way of accident. And oftentimes we encounter those things because we simply do not know. And the type of man that I am, I'm a masculine male. I don't patsy around the truth, nor have I ever been this type of soft individual because I need to cater to how you feel about the truth. So usually my delivery is straight, it's forward, and it's unbroken because some of you, it may not be you, but there's various people who need to hear the truth raw, straight, and uncut. In my martial arts training, I've had several underneath me that wanted to learn something. And my beginning introduction is always to maintain the mind first. And how this is done is by getting past the physicality. It's almost like, let me give you a good example that everybody know about. Okay. The movie Karate Kid, as simple as that. What Miyagi was teaching Daniel's son was self-discipline and to get his mind together and to focus on nature, his environment, and his weakness. That's what his whole task was. This is why he had Daniel's son wax his cars. Okay. He had him paint the walls. He had him doing things around the house because he was getting his mind in a condition to let him know it's not about kicking and punching. And it's not just about self-defense. It's about knowing how to control yourself, knowing how to deal with your everyday. So when I speak to people, I can't beat around the bush and be nice to their emotions. I got to give it to them raw, give them to them the way that it is. And it's uncomfortable because we're living in a time of soft people. We're living in a time where we got cream puff boys and we got girls who don't know who they are until they're about 40, 50 years old. And then they want to go back to being feminine. It don't work like that. If you told the truth ahead of time, you're going to have the ability to evade, to parry, or to get rid of the failures that may cost you your life. Or it may cost you your job. It may cost you your health, or it may even cost you your freedom. And how this happens is when you don't take care of yourself, when you don't know how to be the best version of yourself. Because every teacher, now I'm not going to say there's been many people who have spoken to you or everyone else about some of the similar subjects but the similar subjects that I discussed, but in a different way where you didn't receive it as thoroughly. It's almost like reading a book. You can read a passage that may talk about something that is health related, or it may be related to your relationship, but you won't take it as seriously because the words that they're using. But if somebody come to you in your face and say, "Hey, bozo," you be like, "What the? Yeah. Hey, bozo, you bozo, sit down and hear what I got to say because you're acting stupid. And I'm going to tell you how you're acting stupid because you're going to hurt yourself with your stupidity." And the moment you hear that, or the common person hear this, the first thing that comes to your mind is attacking. Oh, they're attacking me. Or, oh, they're too aggressive. Or their delivery is uncomfortable. You shouldn't be talking to people like that. But you're not understanding that that person has an urgency to give you something. And that is the only way to open up your eyes. It's called shock therapy. In the military, they use shock therapy. When you are in, what do you call that? When you're in physical training, they don't call it the boot camp, but the physical training before you get into the military camp, they're not going to be soft with you. They're going to tell you exactly what it is and where you fail. And not only in verbally, they will show you physically by getting you out there in the trenches and let you see just how much of a weak, soft pudge ball you are. And then you realize you don't really add up to the standards that you thought you had the whole time. And this comes by way of being a grown man or being a grown woman and dealing with reality, because we're not in reality today. We are soft. We are ridiculous today. We are the reason why your earth, your reality, your day is the way that it is, because it's almost like living in a space bubble in this first world country. There's many countries that may not live like America. Okay, but they live happily, they live functionally. For example, you may get somebody from Indonesia, all right, or some other type of country. I'm just using that as an example. All right, and they may not have as many opportunities as we do over here. If you bring them over here in some type of athletic event, or have them do something like you do, maybe ride a motorcycle or something like that, or go through some type of test course, you will notice that eventually they may stumble, but eventually they'll outdo you. Eventually they'll do better than you. Eventually, instead of working at a warehouse as an employee, they want to be a supervisor. They want to have a business of their own. As a matter of fact, a lot of them do eventually have their own business. They end up having gas stations, or they end up owning a store eventually over time, or getting in line with the car manufacturer and getting the money that they need so they can buy a house. While usually the low frequency or the low energy of some Americans or some people in the westernized civilization live at the lower bottom part of existence, just going every day with their humglum life because they're such a pudge ball. They're so soft. They're so used to their push button, lollipop sucking, soft, passive lifestyle, not facing reality. It's almost like you play a military game on the video game for a long time. You'll play a simulator, but it's nothing like when you're actually out there and you have to be really physical. You have to really carry a rifle. You really are feeling bullets and hearing bullets flying past your face and your head. You're really out there running in the trenches. You're in the mud. You're digging over things. You're climbing over trees. You're building barracks and fortresses. It's a totally different story where life is in your face. You can't sit there and be passive about it. I'm the type of individual where I face reality just like that. Whereas most people are so accustomed to lectures and people who are going to make you feel good. I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to tell you exactly what it is. And my titles tell you so. Usually that's the only way to wake a person up. Your sergeant ain't going to sit there and care about how you feel because you got to beat your face against the ground called push-ups. No, they're going to tell you do 50 to 100 push-ups, whether you like it or not, because that's going to help you and it's going to teach you a lesson. You got too many boys and girls who are talking about, oh, I don't want to do it. I can only do 2 push-ups, but I'm able to go out there and protect the world. I'm a military fighter, but I can't do 2 push-ups. The hell you are. That's how delusional we are. You know how far it goes? It even goes to relationships. Yes, it goes to relationships. You got this thing called a decent qualified man versus an indecent unqualified female. And what that means is you got this girl who say, I want a man who makes a good amount of money per year. I want him not to cheat. I want him to be religious. I want him to be nice. I want him to be chivalry, and I want him to be a gentleman. But yet in return, she flakes on him. She have 3 or 4 different children by 3 or 4 different men. She's 190 something pounds. She's been living her whole life chasing her PhD. She haven't been raised to know how to take care of a man because she never had a father figure at home. She don't know anything about a male, but she feels as if she's entitled to a high quality man. But she don't know what she's getting herself into. Let's say that he do say, okay, sure. All right, let's say that she is given this opportunity. Same as that person who say, well, I can go out there and I can be a military man. I could be a Navy SEAL. I could be a Navy SEAL. I've seen it a lot on the video game. Okay, let's say we give you what you want. Okay, let's start with the military. Let's start with this pudge ball of a guy. And you send him out there and say, okay, go. You can be a Navy SEAL automatically. I'm going to stamp you, give you the suit, go have fun. You're going to be done by the end of the day. You're not going to make it. Do you understand? You're going to be pushing up daisies. You're going to be on the back. You're going to be a liability. You're going to be a problem for the other really, truly trained Navy SEALs. And you're going to leave America crippled because you're weak and unprogrammed. Let me say, no, too programmed in your soft bubble, not unprogrammed. And let's say for these various women who think this way in their variations, majority of them. Okay, once she gets this man, she's not going to know how to take care of him. She don't know his needs. She don't know what he requires on a day-to-day basis. And she's going to always be about herself because she have never been taught what a man needs. It's going to be all about her because it began with all about her by her saying, I want this high quality man. I want him to have this. I want him to be a gentleman. I want him to be kind. I want him to be forthgoing. But yet, what is she bringing to the table? You know what she'll say? Well, I am the table. He needs to be happy to be with me. Oh, happy to be with a high mileage vehicle. See, sometimes women don't think like that. Happy to be with you. You sold your SMV 3 different times with 3 different forms of DNA called your children. You sold your SMV by how old you are as well, because there's no such thing as a single woman. She'll say, "Oh, I'm single," but yet she have too many men in her DMs and her down low, basically, and stopping by in the middle of the night where nobody's listening or looking at her. But yet when you meet her, she's telling you, "I'm single," but yet she got 5 different guys that she gave her body up to. But then she'll think and she will feel as if she's worthy enough of this high quality man. So when she's with him, she's not going to be compatible in a marriage or relationship. She's going to be unhappy because she's used to being with other various waves of energy from other males. So she's not going to be proper for this guy. You can think you're a race car driver all you want to. I had a discussion with this in one of my audios before. Because there's a whole lot of people who get these high-powered automobiles. You go out there and you get you one of those RS something Audis, or you get a Porsche, or you think you can drive a Ferrari or something like that. And you get these, and some of them are from rich kids, rich, fortunate, very super soft, passive, ridiculous, redundant type of individuals made up and raised by their other fortunate but unfortunately ignorant parents who was just fortunate enough to come across money, but not common sense. So they'll think, well, I got the money to buy me a Lamborghini or a Bugatti. I'm in the line to do it, mommy, so I'm going to do it. There's been too many cases that you can look up yourself and in research. It's all on your Googles, all on your YouTube, it's all on your social media. They'll get into these high-powered cars and you find them wrapped around a tree or a light pole. They're the reasons why some other people will find a rare, let's just say a wrecked supercar for sale or auction because that rich, soft thumb puffball of a person decided to drive this thing and they wasn't compatible for it. They wasn't trained for it. No one set them down to say, listen, bozo, this isn't for you. You need to be properly trained before you take on this, because this is going to kill you. It's going to be the end of you. You're going to hurt yourself. Don't do it. No, we're in an environment now where we're like, no, go ahead. Yay. Go ahead and do it so I can put it on social media and show everybody how dumb you are. Go ahead. I'm going to videotape you when you wrap yourself around a light pole or you fly off the interstate because you can't control your power. There's been videos of guys who would drive a Lamborghini and you got 2 of them on the road, and you'll see pictures and videos and you'll be right there in your face where they run right into each other with these expensive, $300 and something thousand cars or more in smoke and in flame. And all they're doing is just standing outside the vehicle with their dumb phone looking stupid, like, I don't know what happened. Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go, George? Because that's the type of time that we live in. So my delivery, you may not like my delivery, but somebody got to tell you like it is, whether you like it or not. Oftentimes we think we know so much, and this is going to blend into the conversation today. This is going to tie into the subject today of the dumb adult. The dumb adult. Okay. This is based on a conversation I've had with several people. This is a buildup over time. This is not only self-experience, and this is also some of you have experienced this as well. So this isn't just mine. This is facts and statistics. There's a thing that some people may say when you meet them and you're having a conversation with them, and it's all about doing something a different way, like a job, for example, or maybe how they're living their life. Okay. Now, this is going to hurt some people, but I'm going to give it to you like it is. That's why I am called Morpheus. And this is the red pill. It don't taste good. Medicine usually don't taste good. Although you have some of them trying to make Johnson & Johnson, this funny little colorful, what do you call that? Bubblegum medicine for children. But as adults, you need to learn how to take it as it is and grow the hell up. Grow some testicles and act like you got some good sense and accept it the way it is. I don't have boys over here on my channel. We are men over here. If you ain't a man, pop yourself out of here. What that means is pop your little bitty head of illogical, emotional unpreparedness at a different channel. Now, you may critique somebody. You may have a question about something, or you may have a different idea. Like someone who's been a security guard, someone who may be in the some type of corporate circle, or again, maybe on the job, or maybe they'd be a driver. Maybe there's somebody who's a professional. They think they're professional at something. You hear this on TV. Yes, you do. You hear this even not maybe sometimes on your social media, or sometimes there may be another lecturer, or you may see that in your own world. When you question them about something, their response is usually, man, I've been doing this for 23 years. I want y'all to keep that in your mind right there. That right there is your red pill. That's the key. They will say, I've been doing this for 23 years. So in so many words, they're telling you, I know what I'm doing because I've been doing this for a long time. Now, in a low frequency mind, in a low energy like mind of the common person, even I've been victim to this. You would think that, okay, they know what they're doing. There's no need for me to tell them anything. They've been doing this for 23 years. God dang. They've been doing this office work for 23 years. They've been in the HR for 23 or whatever it is for 23 years. The silent word is to tell you, step off. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this longer than you can imagine. I've been working here longer than you can imagine. But Morpheus does his job. My job is to give you, my listeners, something that nobody else have given you. My job is to awaken you. This right here is what I'm going to give to you is even more power that I usually give on all my audios. If you are prepared as an adult to listen and learn, which are two different things. You can listen all you want to. Learning is a different dynamic if you're willing to learn and open up your ears. Just because they've been doing it for 23 years don't mean they've been doing it for 23 years the right way. Here we go. You can do it for 23 years all you want to. You can be making yourself sick for 23 years like a poison pill. You can be damaging yourself for 23 years and you don't know it because you're stuck in your ways. There was an audio that I was getting ready to create, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it in this one about some older older people who've been on earth before us. They may be your grandma, they may be your mothers and your fathers, or they may be ministers, pastors, and those who they got gray beard. They got gray beard, they got a gray hair, gray and white hair. Just because they're in that position doesn't make them all the time right, my people, my Neils. They can be the very reason why there's no evolution in your environment. They can be the reason why we are struggling and tripping over our shoestrings because they're so stuck in their ways. They don't know what evolution is. They don't know how to evolve past their stupidity. They want to, what they become is this roadblock to prevent you of other discoveries. Now, there's a thing that there are positives in our environment that we must maintain for the sake of positive tradition, for the sake of family, and for the sake of positive progression without getting out of control. But there's also a thing called evolving past lies. What that means is you find out what you thought you knew that year wasn't what you thought you knew. It was false. It was a deception made up by someone else. So therefore, as you evolve in life, you learn something totally different where you'll look back at yourself 5 years in advance and you'll say, well, I thought I knew about this situation, but I was wrong because today in this discovery, it's totally different because there's more information about it, or there's been more research on it, or because I see the results today of what I thought I knew in the past. How this happens too is such as bad pharmaceutical pills that is given to you or was given to you 10 years ago. And if you notice on your advertisement on your TV or sometimes your dumb phone, this pharmaceutical or these group of people who decide to make this poison pill is sued because it's hurting people now 5, 6, 7 years later. So you as the consumer or them as the creator, may think that it is okay for that year or for that time based on the results of a short term type of result. But 7 years later, it begins to be revealed that there was some type of asbestos, or some sort of alchemical toxin in the medication, or some sort of pesticide or something that got involved in the mix, that just will expand to sicken you over time, or sicken millions of people. Some people don't evolve. They were born in a rat hole. They will die in a rat hole mentality. And oftentimes, those people end up being in prestige positions that may be over you, or they may control your country, or may control the flow of your economics that are in your environment. And you will never know about this. So they're just plain stuck on stupid. And a lot of times as well, they can be the very reasons why you have this sort of stigma of, what do you call that, racism or cultural differences. And a lot of them will still hold on to it based on them being in their rat hole mentality and not wanting to evolve, because they've been doing it for 23 something years. So you may have an older black man or black woman still talking about racism something 100 years later, and is willing to hold that very dear and near to her for as long as she is alive. The same as it may be for some white people who is hell-bent on racism themselves and looking at other people as inferior to themselves. They can hold on to that flag or to that issue for a very long time, even if today in evolution and in facts, it's proven that it isn't all of a certain culture, and it isn't all of a certain kind who is a certain way. For example, you have some black people or black ministers at that age, 56 and up, who would think oddly about white people or Caucasian people. You see what I mean? So they haven't evolved. So they'll tell you something like, well, black people are all superior, or black people have been kicked down. It was black people's fault, or not black people, white people's fault. And so that same stigma, fear, ignorance, and self non-evolving potential will become toxic in that set environment, because in reality, okay, there is plenty of mixed relationships. There are brothers and sisters of both races, and it would not be the entirety of white people or Caucasian people where they can become the best of friends, where they are supportive. They're the ones who in the grocery store bagging your foods. They'll be the ones when you go to the restaurant putting food on your table, unpoisoned, and making sure that your food is fresh. What kind of irony is that? Just think about that. You got this older black man talking about racism, talking about how white people don't like black people. But when they go to their restaurant, that white person's back there making their food, putting napkins on their table, or providing them with the security that they may need. One of the white people may be the security guard at the door, or it may be a Caucasian lady or a girl that's taking the menu and she's being kind. She's doing her proper courtesy, right? Hey, there's a table over here, sir. Table 9 is available for you. If you need anything, give me a call. My name is Rachel, right? Come on now. Y'all know Morpheus is on point with this. Y'all know Morpheus is on point. Shut your mouth and just accept the facts. Just stuff this humble pie and act like you got some good sense. They'll be the first one to, or they may have a warehouse somewhere where there is food that's manufactured, or food that's processed, or food that is looked over by quality and care, or certification. And then it may be that very culture themselves, the Caucasians are white people who was boxing them and putting them together and putting the labels on them to make sure that that food is fresh before it gets to that black man's table. So if they were so racist as some of those older black people may think, they would have got you any time of day, anytime they wanted to, while they're serving you at their table. The same as in reverse. White people have gotten this MO a long time ago, and this message a long time ago, this idea that black people aren't as great as they can be, are not smart, are not capable of certain things, or don't have any sense of superiority. But as time have gone on in development, it's been proven wrong that you have black CEOs, you have black bosses, you have black teachers, you have black men and women alike who are doing great, fascinating things, which will cause other cultures to get pause. And they will be the ones to do the same thing. They will be the providers of the vital health, the vital foods, and the vital utilities that some white people may need. So therefore, some of the white people in the minorities versus the majority, or in the reverse, it don't matter. there's a few in all diaspora in places of our developments which realize this over time and say, well, I thought I knew 5 years ago that I was told when I was 19 years old that you weren't capable of this and you was insignificant, and your black color is a disease, all these sort of ignorant stigmas. But over time, it's been proven wrong. Then eventually you have a society where black and white people are no different than brother and sister. They're married to each other. They're supporting each other. They're doing as a natural, normal human being would do, because the false stigma and the lies have been proven wrong. So it will usually and generally fall down on personality and how you choose your free will, how you choose your ability to use the resources that you have to support yourself, or to maneuver the circulation of your own finances, of your own success, of your own future. It falls down to the individual. It doesn't fall down to the individual's color. Let me say that again for some of you who are still stuck on stupid. Yeah, I'm telling you like it is today. It doesn't fall down on the color of your skin or your culture. It falls down on the decisions that you make as an individual, and your personality, and how you are making yourself available for the society and yourself. That's 100% facts. But that is just an example that I'm giving you. So therefore, those same people who are of an older age, who've been raised up like this, who've been raised up wrong, most times it's almost like having a mental disease or needing therapy. Yes. Just because they're older, that doesn't mean they're wiser. You can carry your mental disease forever. You can go through life without getting therapy, without speaking to a counselor or a psychologist. You can really live with a mental illness forever without getting treatment, and you will never know it. And while you are teaching, you are walking around with children or people or teenagers or others who are underneath you, whoever it is that you are above, where you are in a position of teaching or helping, you won't realize that you are spewing negative, unhealthy dogma. You have no idea that you are an inhibitor, or you are preventing the evolution of those human beings who are underneath you, and they won't know the better because they look up to you as an adult or a so-called leader, but you don't realize that you are a moron more than you are a leader, because you haven't gave yourself thorough therapy to dive into the evolution of life. Life evolves. Dead people sit still. I'll put it like this. The dead buries the dead. The living creates the living. And oftentimes how this occurs is those who aren't seeking positive progression, meaning you're not looking for the good in a situation or in people. You're always looking for the evil and the bad in your society. So therefore, because you haven't got any mental therapy, and because you don't want to accept evolution, what ends up happening is you're going to always use negativity as a drug. You're going to keep using negativity as a crutch. You're going to keep using negativity as an excuse as to not evolve and to prevent the people underneath you to be prohibited of success and evolving themselves. So therefore, you become a problem. Because when somebody asks you about something or somebody tell you to think differently, someone like Morpheus come give you a red pill to say what you think you see is not what you see. It's you that bends and not the spoon. You want to look at me like I'm the stupid one, but you're the one who's stuck on stupid. I'm just the messenger. Because the first thing that come out of these people's mouth, once again, they'll say, well, I've been doing it for 23 years. Who the hell are you to come to kind of change me today? There's also the expression that I'm going to bend today. They say, well, you can't teach an old dumb dog new tricks. How about that? Put that in your Oreos and your Cheerios. Choke on it, as far as I'm concerned. So you yourself don't comprehend that it have nothing to do with how long you've been doing a thing. You have to always do your fact checking. Let me tell you something about life. Okay. Our real existence. Okay. Because I've made an audio called Life Isn't for Everyone. You need to look at that audio. You need to listen to that audio. That's why I'm using the word existence. It's a key word here because not everybody is alive. You don't even know what life is yet. It's an individual trip. Yes, it's what you perceive for it to be, but you need to see the details behind it as well, because you will hear on your television, you will hear in some of your schools and for some of your professors or whoever that's around you who are inhibitors of problems with society that tell you that it's either one or the other. You're the living or you're dying. You're alive when you're on earth. And if you're just gone, you're just not here. Life is breath. No. Think differently. No, sir, no. See, let me go deeper than this. The problem with everything, yes, I said everything, when you use anthropomorphic understanding as if you are God and the alien that created this world. That's one of the number one problems a lot of people have. You don't realize that how we look at things, our footprints is human footprints. Our footprints, our path, our ideologies, and our function is based on our limited understanding, and the universe is bigger than your dumb damn self. Do you understand? You don't understand that you are a speckle of dust in the sea of water, and you think you know everything. That's one of the biggest problems. And what you do is you become a cancer to the society when you think that you know all that you need to know, and what you know, everything else have to be placard with it. If you notice in my audios, I don't talk about one subject. I give you red pills on just about everything, because it's not about me. It's about you. And you're going to find out, maybe out of 7 red pills I give you, there may be one that is truly tailored to you, and you're going to get the message. And I myself will not, and I'm glad I don't and don't care to, and not interested into portraying that I know everything, because I don't. I have accepted the facts a long time ago that I am just a speck in reality. I've realized that I have taken the harsh red pill of all time that almost spent me out of existence, put me in a spiral of out of control frenzy. So I know what it means, but I have learned how to accept it by being a Neo myself and looking at the mirror, looking at me. So therefore I can preach and I can talk like this because I've did my suffering. So therefore, in return, knowing that I am a speck in the face of existence, giving you that same opportunity to at least envision it and to understand that you don't know all that you think you know, will at least give you no excuse when you 60, 70 or something years old, you come across your crossroads. You can't say nobody said anything. You're going to be 100% responsible for your actions because the information is right here. That's why I enjoy being Morpheus. I love my position. I enjoy my purpose is what I'm doing right now. So nobody at the sound of my voice or who knows me can never say, well, nobody told me that. Nobody tried. There's no people who care out here. I don't have faith in humanity because nobody really cares about humanity. Well, I'm proving it to you today. And in practically all my other audios, sometimes y'all just don't like my delivery because there's a sense of urgency. Every day of your life is a waste of life. When that moment, that time, and that hour can be better spent towards evolution, doing something better or evolving yourself, situating yourself in a better position where you're going to be the best version of yourself through proper direct information, not being soft and passive because we're scared to hurt your feelings. Or I don't want to start speaking out there. They're going to think it's hate speech. They're going to be some people saying that they're attacking me. Let the children be the children. You act like an adult. There's plenty of opportunity. We're not like, and I'm not even going to go in that direction, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Today, when you are in a group of adults and kids, usually the kids are the ones who's leading the adults. Why is this? Because we're at a time now where we say, well, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and we're going to have to respect what the children want. You know, their direction is supposed to be, you know, they can be and feel whatever that they want to feel. If they feel like they're a robot, they are a robot. If they feel like they're a dog and a puppy, well, let's just go ahead and let them feel that way. And if they want some dog food, let's feed it to them too. When you are supposed to be the adult, you're supposed to be more experienced than them, where you have evolved to the point where you've seen all the snares, the deceptions, and the scenarios where you can feed knowledge into those kids and be a proper light and guiding entity where they don't need therapy. They don't need a sense of, what do you call that? False identification through social media. They don't need to be validated through stripping down. They don't need to be validated through somebody else's false perception or their peer pressure of kids that are around their age because they don't understand you as an adult. You're supposed to have a good, keen ability to understand them and not give them exactly what they want, but give them what they need. But because we're so soft and passive and so scared of policy, so scared of, oh, you know, we're in this environment where people are so sensitive. No. Morpheus give you a ugly killer red pill. No, it's not the society is sensitive. You are, because you don't know how to man up. Oh my God, Morpheus. Oh man. I'm sorry. Was that your toes right there? Was that your toes? I'm sorry, but I'm not. No, it's because you are too sensitive because you don't want to stand up for what needs to be stood up for. Oh man, there's another toe. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm not. That's because you let the young lead. You're not leading because you want to be cool. You want to be their friend instead of being their leader. Oh man. Oh man. This is not right. Morpheus, why are you talking like this? You know, why are you talking like this? No, because because you know what? There's money behind it. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm sorry. I pushed you out of the room. I'm too big for you. I'm sorry. There's only one space here for a for a real man. Sorry. There's only one spot here. I got it. You didn't want it because you're too busy trying to get money, proceeds, likes, and all kind of, what do you call that? Programs to benefit your organization or your business off of single mothers. Oh man, I did it. All right, I did it. Oops. Morpheus, see, now you gone too far, Morpheus. You gone too far. No. Y'all too busy looking at what you can benefit from a broken family instead of telling the broken family the truth. Oh man. Holy God. Oh my goodness. Because if you told the truth, there's not a lot of money in it. That's right. And on the other end of, you know what y'all would say? Well, it's not my kids. It's not my life. It's not my problem. I got myself together. I'm doing everything I can do. So, you know, they don't want to listen to me. So what? Yeah, but I have a whole lot of audios out there that will prove you wrong. There are still innocent people around that needs nothing but hardcore straight facts because people like you and others have been soft with them. Yeah, I had a team of people one time with my martial arts training, and we were going to play a game similar to Rugsby. And I had a group of 5 people, and the other team had a group of 5 people. And I stood on the other end, and we were doing the matchup thing. I said, first of all, I pushed everybody away and said, I'm going to do this all by myself. for mental. This is just the training here. As I'm gonna do it by myself. And the other team said, "You're gonna do this all by yourself?" I said yes, and I started looking at the other team members, and they were standing there looking at me like, "Morpheus, what's going on? What's up, man? Like, you tripping, dudes." I said, "All right, if you're gonna do this, I don't need you to be weak. I need you to stand up, act like you got some good sense, stick your chest out, act like a man. Let's get down and dirty. If you're not willing to do that, I can do this all by myself. Are you ready to do this?" Yeah, man, I'm tough enough, man. I can do it. And then I'll take them through the trials and the tests. Okay, run from here, run over there. Go lift this 50-pound over here. Go flip over here this side. You see that thing over there? Go climb it. See that tree over there? Let me see you go up that tree. There's some branches that you can grab a hold. Let me see you when you get down. And you know what? Some of them, they go up there and they will come down, act like that they ran a marathon. They act weak. They're busy looking at their hands. They're busy looking at their clothes and brushing. You're not prepared. You're not ready. They're like, "What? But I made it up the tree." I said, "You're not ready. You're too soft. You're too weak." Yeah, I roll like that. Nothing but the best. And then there's another guy who will go up the tree. He'll climb up there. He'll look up. Everything's good. He come right back down the tree, right? He don't look at his hands. He's not looking at his pants. He care less about what his shoes look like. He'll stand there and say, "Okay, what's next?" Me, I'm like, "Okay, that's my guy right there. Come on over here. You're on my team." Because what I have realized and what I know is that very person who's looking at this soft, insignificant things like his pants, his hands, his shoes, he's not going to make it. He's going to be this type of person who's going to negotiate his facts. He's going to negotiate what needs to be said with what do not need to be said. He's going to soft hand the situation. He's going to soft hand his conditions when it comes across his real life or whatever situation he's in. It's going to come to the point where somebody's going to confront him in a type of office situation or when it comes to a debate. And instead of being forward and honest and answering the question, you know what he's going to do? He's going to run around. He's going to run around the question. Some of you have seen this when it comes to Mr. What's his name? Jesse. I think Jesse Peterson. When he interviews a person, here's a good example. He interviews a person and you ask a direct question to them, like something like this. "Do you believe in abortion?" Right? Something directly, just straight to the point. You will get beta, bozo men, soft patsy. Let me stop. You'll get funny looking, I wasn't raised right, but out of a rat hole men. And strange, I don't know who I am, females up there who can't even ask the question. They can't even be direct with them. So a lot of them, they have their own social media platform or they come from some of them are preachers. Listen, this is facts. If you don't want to listen, you can do your research yourself. Go and listen. Go look at some of the older videos or even some of the newer videos and you see exactly what I'm talking about. These people are head of organizations. These people were out there marching once upon a time. These people have followership. These people have social media followership of 1,000 to millions of followers that follow them. Exactly what I'm talking about. But yet when it comes to answering a direct question, they can't answer the question because they don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. And because they've been lying to their followers the whole time, because they're that same soft, weak person who will climb the tree of success. They'll get up there, but they're not concerned about what they're doing. They're concerned about how they look. They're concerned about how other people view them. They're concerned about all the insignificant things and not getting the mission done. I don't need a weak soldier. I need a true fighter. I need somebody who has some testicles, not somebody who is soft-handed with everything, because your soft-handedness is a problem why de-evolution is so active today. Straightforward and simple. Now, here's another example for you. Let's go further with this. You and I know that I am a health mogul. I'm all about health. I'm all about spiritual health, and I'm all about mental health as well. I was in a truck stop. when I was heading out of town, and it seemed kind of fascinating. And some of the fast food places and everything was connected to this truck stop. All right, and I went to the aisle where they have all the teas and the coffee and condiments and things like that. I just wanted a couple of packs of tea. I don't mess with all that toxic. What do you call that? Um, Gasoline fuel in the name of coffee. I don't need that. Something very simple. I'll be dousing stuff. I know I do. Be roasting things. However, so I came across this guy who I'm not gonna tell you what he looked like until after this discussion. This guy walked up next to me and he was just grabbed this big thing of coffee, huge. I think it was like it wasn't 24 ounces or something like that. All steamy, and he started adding sugar in it and all kind of creamer from the con, just pouring the sugar in it. I'm like, wow, look at this. This dude is uh trying to stay woke or whatever's going on with this guy. And I talk to just about anybody. So I asked him a question, says, so how's those roads out there? He's like, oh man, the roads is crazy, kind of that just came from New Orleans. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. I'm like, well, you need to be careful out there because it's a lot to deal with. And he said, yeah, man, I'm a truck driver, man. You're right about that. I'm a truck driver. And I'm thinking, uh-oh, here come Morpheus. I'm clicking. And I turn around and look at him. This guy is about, man, I know he was around 300 and something pounds. Big dude. Unhealthy. Just his stomach was talking to me while I was talking to him. I was trying to ignore because his stomach was trying to reach up and grab me. So I was just like, what kind of situation am I in here? Okay, and I begin to discuss with him all the hazards that's possible on the road. And you have to be prepared ahead of time. And he said the same thing that I just discussed with you. Man, I've been a truck driver I've been a truck driver for like 24 years. Something around that number. I've been a truck driver for 24 years, man. I know. You don't have to tell me. And I asked him a question, and I usually give people shock therapy like that. I do. And it's not offensive. I'm direct. I'm I am who I am everywhere I go. And sometimes it catches people off guard. They don't know how to handle it, but they accept it because it's something different. Because everybody else is soft. They scared. They're doing more than 6 feet distance between each other. I don't know. Talking to strangers is a disease. It might give me the cocoa if I talk to a stranger. Like, that's how dumb we are. So I said, I asked him, it's simple. I said, why are you drinking all that coffee, man? That's the question. Why are you drinking all the coffee? And man, I'm exhausted and I got a long road to go, and man, I got to go New Orleans up here to this place over here. Man, it's just so stressful out there, man. I just got to go through, I got to go through all this dumb traffic. These people don't know how to drive. They're dangerous out there, man. They're texting and driving, and I'm putting all the pieces together while I'm talking to them. And I didn't want to be too aggressive with this as a as a health fanatic. And I said, you drinking that coffee isn't going to make things better. And it seems like things need to fall in place, in the right places in your life right now. You said you've been a driver for 24 something years, but don't you think you're hurting yourself? And he was sometimes men can accept reality before his counterpart female. Sometimes women, they'll just roll your eyes at you and they want to scream at you and say that you're harassing them and you're a pervert or you're a stalker or you're out of your mind. But some men, they'll think for a moment before they get offended and think about what you're saying. And accept because they think about it themselves. See, some women, they know they're wrong about a situation. They want to be right even if they're wrong. And they want to prove that they're right even though they know they're wrong. When they go home, they'll think about it and say, I was wrong for saying that. But men realize that because they reflect on their life. They'll say, this guy's telling me the truth because I thought about this several times. Y'all got me? So he was like, well, I guess that makes sense. He said, but I've been going through a lot and I've been trying to get my health together. The doctor told me that, I got this sleep apnea and I got things going on with me. But man, I've been doing this for so long, man. It's just, I'm used to it now. And then the story goes on. I say, well, you have some issues. Here's my business number and we'll talk because this isn't good for you. Now, back to me and you, Neo. Let me tell you about this situation. Here it is. Listen, here it is. This guy who's been driving on the road for 24 years. That's a long time to be on the road. That's a long time to be a truck driver. That's a long time to be doing anything. That's a long time to be doing any damn thing. Okay. But he'd been doing it for 24 years. Now, you heard him say, well, I know because I've been doing it for 24 years. Yeah. You've been doing it for 24 years, but the wrong way. Apparently, being 300 and something pounds, apparently sleep apnea, drinking his life away with tons of sugar, tons of cream. He's stressed out. He just came from New Orleans from somewhere else, trying to drop from New Orleans to the next place. And consistently doing this in this heavy, sometimes dangerous traffic during heavy snow, sleet, fall, whatever, earthquake, he's out there. That doesn't mean, Neo, or you who think you are a professional, or you who've been doing something for 24 years, that don't mean you've been doing it for 24 years the right way. Y'all need to stop putting these dumb badges on your chest as if that's going to prove any damn thing when you are in a world that's so backwards the way that it is. Y'all need to quit that stupid BS. Yeah, I said it. There are two things y'all put on your chest all the damn time. I am a doctor so-and-so, and I've been doing this for 24 something years. That's the first thing that come out of your mouth, as if that's going to validate you as a special person. Yeah, I'm telling you directly as it is, like a big brother and as a friend, because nobody else is going to give you this red pill, not in the way that I'm doing it. If you don't like it, so what? That's your problem. You won't evolve, and you're going to be a problem and an anthill for the society, as you usually are anyway, regardless of what I'm saying. Just because you are a doctor, a professional this, and you've been told that you're special that don't mean that you are special. Just because you've been doing it for 24 damn years don't mean you know exactly what you're doing. You're accustomed to it. And sometimes the worst people have been doing it for 24 years because you know all the cut corners and the shortcuts. You know how to float the gears. You know how to switch from one location to the next location and not do it by the book because you've been doing it for such a long time. It's like breathing to you. That don't mean you're doing it the right way. And that doesn't mean that it is proper. Not oftentimes, but usually there are people who can see it from the outside and have a better idea of something that you've been doing for 24 damn years, but you are reluctant to see it because you stuck in de-evolution because you don't want to evolve with the times. That's why I brought up this idea of racism. I used everything as an example to let you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's no damn different. You got people who stuck on what they was taught in the 1950s versus what's going on in the 2020s today, where there's been a lot of fact checking. There's been a lot of, man, I thought that the pastor was right over here in this passage, but I did some traveling. I spoke to some people and I've witnessed this in my own personal life that the pastor was wrong. Only stuck on stupid people will not be willing to evolve because they're stuck on the programming because they're scared to swim in the big, wide water. They know they're nothing but a tuna fish or a surface dwelling animal. They don't want to swim deep because if you swim deep, that means, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? That means you have to change. You have to change your perspective. You got to change your comfort zone. You got to change your mentality and you got to change your ways. And there are too many people who don't want to change their ways because they're too comfortable right there. It's called being fearful. It's called being passive, and it's called being soft. Soft people don't survive for long. Soft people do not evolve. Soft people don't make it out of the military. Soft people don't exist in a world where there is always challenges that's going to challenge you and your mentality and your perspective. That's why sometimes when you get in a debate with somebody, they call it hate speech, or they will say you are attacking them and you're just debating them. You're talking about facts, but they're going to be emotional about the situation because they know that what they're talking about, they have not did their fact checking. They haven't checked themselves. They haven't did their own research. So now when you come along and challenge them, they're going to get upset, and their only defense is to tell you, well, I did get a DR. I am a PhD, and I am certified to do this, and I've been doing it for 24 years, so you don't have nothing to say to me. That's their only defense. But they can be doing as dumb, podunk backwards as any uneducated person. Yeah, I'm going to tell it exactly how it is because I'm going to keep it real, as I always do. Sometimes you have to sit back and listen to people when they're talking to you. But listen, what I want to do, my whole task, if any, my whole goal, if any, is to give you such a power where when you come across people, you have such an ability to read them and to see these things that I'm bringing to you, where you will step back and say, wait a minute. Let me hear this person. And you see them, you hear them talking, you will immediately begin to realize there are different types of human beings. Yes, there is. There are different types of human beings where you yourself do not have to bring into your life. You don't have to be around their circle. You don't have to even socialize with them. Let them go ahead, run out in the middle of the street and get hit because they don't want to pay attention to all the signs or hear the horns. Because sometimes we don't understand that we bring people like that in our circles. We believe in people like that. We socialize with people like that. We stand with people like that. And we put those main people on mainstream and we say, well, they're respected because they've been doing this for 35 years. And you have no idea. You're looking at something that's causing a de-evolution of whoever believes in them or the entire human race because they're in such a prestige, important position. And they'll be the first one to sicken you, just like some people. Okay, you want some more examples? You ready? I give you examples. Sometimes y'all just have a problem. You just don't want to research. Or some of you are just so inexperienced because you have not been learning anything this whole time. You just want to do clickbaiting. What you do is just click on somebody's channel. They're talking good. They're speaking good. Or they showing something, some type of Disney animation in front of you. And you just want to be entertained for 5 or 10 minutes before you go back to your own bozo life. Don't learn nothing. All these things is evident to a lot of people. You just want to stay in your space bubble. I'm sorry if I'm stepping on your toes. My feet is just very big. I told you a long time ago, I got big shoes. Your feet is just in the way. Learn how to move. There was a discussion about drinking 8 glasses of water per day. Oh man, some of y'all, oh man, here we go. Oh, this is really going to hurt somebody. Y'all have listened to, y'all have studied with. I'm not talking about you who's listening to me. It may not be you. Usually when I'm saying you or you all, I'm talking about those who are in the back of the classroom who's sucking on their thumb. It may reach them, but you may not be doing this. So when I point my finger, if it's not about you, just dodge. Let the laser hit them between the eyes. Because you get the message. They don't. This expression, oh, you got to eat 3 meals a day. You have to have 8 glasses of water per day. That's been debunked years ago. It don't make any damn sense with how much you weigh, how old you are, and what type of person you. Just shut your mouth. Some of y'all just need to just realize you're just dumb and just accept it. You've been bamboozled, and because you looked at this person, oh, they're 35, they're 40, they're a doctor, they must be accurate, and you live your life that way for so long until you're 60 years old and you realize you're in a wheelchair because you never needed to be there. Uh-oh. Morpheus? Did you just say that? Yeah, I did. Oftentimes, just because you are of an older age, that doesn't mean it requires a wheelchair or a cane or rickety joints or a wore out back, loss of testosterone and loss of energy. You know why you there? Because you kept following people's regiments or regimes or ideology or programming based on your ignorance because you never wanted to evolve. So you accepted everybody else's idea of life. So you put yourself in the wheelchair. You can be 60 years old and jogging, but you're 60 years old and sitting down. because you sat down for yourself, but you stood up for people who kept lying to you. And because they said, well, I am experienced, I am doctor, I am this and that, I know what I'm talking about. So let me poison you and make you dumb because you're already dumb for listening to me. Oh, I'm going to tell it like it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My red pill don't feel, my red pill is it's an ugly red pill. It just don't taste good. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Your feelings don't mean nothing to me. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm only concerned about your logic, your forward thinking, your progression, and evolution. Soft people don't belong over here anyway. So you begin to realize, well, drinking 8 glasses of water really don't make sense. Why don't you just say stay dehydrated and know yourself? Uh-oh. Oh, man. I got to cut this audio down because now we're getting ugly now. Oh, my God. Oh, well, I'll say it. I'll say it then. Y'all don't like it, but I'm going to say it. The problem is the society don't want you to think for your damn self. How about that? You got it? They want to think for you. You should know exactly your own chemistry and your anatomy, what you need to be digesting and not. The problem is you don't. A lot of you don't. You have no interest in knowing yourself. So you need somebody to tell you what to eat and what to drink. And they benchmark on that all the time. So of course they're going to say drink 8 glasses of water and that's going to be good for you because I'm the professor. I graduated from Harvard and we did this study and you're going to have to listen to it because I've been doing this for 46 years. But yet you, on the other hand, realize there's days where all you need is 2 glasses of water and you're good. There are days where you might need damn near 10 glasses of water and you're okay. But yeah, you still sit there and say, well, the professor said we have to go ahead and do 8 glasses of water, so I'm going to do it because I'm smart. So you fall down with de-evolution by listening to the disinvolved. I know it seems harsh, but I got to tell it like it is. I got to tell it like it is. I know how crazy it sounds. I know how wild it sounds. You're listening to somebody who has been there. I have done that. I've taken years off from relationship and from people. I've been in the caves, ladies and gentlemen. I've drank those glasses of water. I've did my physical training. I've watched people. I've been the one to say, okay, this person is a human, but what is this person standing next to him? And I listen to him. I watch him. I see the results. I'm like, well, yeah, they're human, but they're a different kind of human being. That is a problem for the other human being next to him. Because one of them is going to evolve. The other one is going to dissolve themselves in stupid ignorance and be passive and allow themselves to be guided like a sheep to the slaughter. And therefore, if you are a wise individual and you're able to make these distinguishing factors, you will know where the truth is and where the lies begin. So I tell you, this is not for me. I'm doing that myself. These are practices that I comprehend of myself. That's why I speak the way that I did. I've drinking the whole container of red pills before and got sick of it. But you know what? Some of you need to get it so that way you can see exactly what I'm talking about. If you do your research on the things I talk about and just use that as a microscope in your everyday life, you'll begin to hear people say the same thing that I'm telling you. Not what I'm saying. No, they'll say the trigger words. They will think like this and act that way. Oh, how are you doing today, Mr. Yeah, you call me Dr. Blake. You don't call me Blake. You are supposed to call me Dr. Blake because I've been doing this for 30 years. You're going to respect me. You're like, wait, hold on, wait. Well, what? And let you not give them the respect that they think they deserve. They want to look at you like you crazy. Who do you think you are? Okay, little man. I've walked into oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Yeah. I give you personal experiences here. I spoke with the gentleman about genetically modified food. Listen, this is going to be the killer pill right here. And I'm going to close this audio. I really want y'all to receive this because I can't videotape everything and I can't record people without them knowing I'm recording. Okay, but sometimes I really want to record people. I had a conversation with a man who said he knew about genetics. He was a geneticist and he worked in pharmaceuticals, and that piqued my curiosity. I'm always ready to challenge. I'm like, oh yeah, you know how you do in the Wild Wild West when you got two cowboys and you got one standing at the other end and the other at the other end. I'm like, oh yeah. I put on my Stetson hat and I'm ready to go. I'm like, oh, let me hear this. I'm ready to hear this. So I didn't know this till after talking about genetically modified foods versus organic food, natural food that's untouched, no pesticide, all this sort of thing. And he said something like this. Yes, he said this. Mind blowing. I'm telling you right now, Neo. I began to tell him, I said, well, organic food is the most decent way to go, to be careful of what you eat and to understand your own body's chemistry, because what one food may work for one person, it may not work for the other because of allergens and how your phylum is. Your phylum is vital to understanding your own balance, the food that you eat. It's different than the, you got this food pyramid type of thing. Another thing I don't go by, I never did. Okay, yeah, no, Morpheus never did. Not interested in your idea of what I'm supposed to eat. I'm different than you because I know myself. A lot of you aren't because y'all sit there and let books tell you what you are. But yet you call yourself let me stop because I know I'm dousing some people. I'm sorry. I got big feet. I keep telling you, I step on toes is what I do. Get your feet out of the way and learn something. Learn how to dance. Learn how to be in harmony with facts. If not, well, get stepped on. Okay. So we got to the point where I said, well, yeah, I see all these synthetic fake foods, genetically modified stuff you got around your place here. That's not good for people to eat. They need to watch out what they eat. And he said this. He said, well, we don't need to be going by. You don't need to be going by organic food anyway, because most of them, they're just repackaged. They try to say that it's organic food, but it's not really organic food. So why would we want to get organic food anyway? Just might as well just go ahead and eat the food that's on the shelf. Did y'all just hear what I just said? That's what he said. This so-called genetics, this so-called, I am a pharmacist. Yeah, of course, I'm a pharmaceutical tech. I've been in there, man. Yeah, oh, really? Listen, these are the very people I'm talking about, stuck in their ways. They are the problem for society, the poison, and they are helping to be a poison when you're dumb enough to believe in them and not think about your own phylum and yourself. You don't even know what you're eating, but yet you want to sit there and be like, oh, I guess he's right. I have ate an organic version of a product versus the non-organic version of a product of multiple types of food. Okay, these people can get, people do their research, they can get caught up. You will find yourself being fined for so much money for packaging something. You say it's organic and it's not. People are busted every single day with this dumb stuff. So most times they're going to make sure it is organic and it is exactly what it is. But oftentimes it's you to do the research. There is a change that happened in your body. There is a chemical change. Let me stop. You don't know this because when you are stuck in a family where you're married, oh man, somebody else's toes in the way. Dang it, man. Move your little bitty feet out of the way. Let the boss come in. Y'all, when you are preoccupied in your day, you're distracted. You're trying to budget your bill. I get it. You got food, children to feed. I get it. You got a wife to keep happy. I get it. Or a husband to keep happy. I understand. You don't have time to be alone and to think about things. I have. The beauty of being alone, the beauty of being a free agent, the beauty of being an independent entrepreneur, the beauty of living as I live is I get a chance to get rid of all the distraction and see life for what it is. I don't have anybody looking over my shoulders, pointing at me and, oh, you need to do this. And baby, you've been gone at work too long and the kids need to be fed. The child need to be picked up from school. She didn't do her homework. Go in a room and tell Jonathan to act like he got some good sense. I don't have all that. I can take wine glass. I can take a wine glass, a ruddy wine glass and put some wine in it, put it in the middle of my living room floor, and leave and go take care of a few people, clients, and do my thing, and come back and it will still be sitting there in the middle of the floor. You can't do that. The beauty of not dealing with the outside world, of living your own life. If I had a couple of firearms, if I did, and I do, but so what? I'm not going to tell you. I can put it right there in the middle of the floor. I can put it there, loaded and all. Okay, and a few extra of whatever else, probably even some spikes if I wanted to. And I can leave the house, okay, and come back and it's still sitting right there on the floor, untouched, unmoved, unmolested. You can't do that. So with that example, with your everyday life, you're always going to be moving around where you don't have time to smell the roses. You don't have time to see reality for what it is. And it also helps when you're eating organic food versus non-organic food. Your body chemistry is a very unique thing, because when you're interacting with people, your body chemistry is going to change versus if you're by yourself. You're taking in different energies from other people. You're taking in different forms of energy, of spirit energy and ideas from your wife, your children, your responsibilities, your bosses, and wherever you are employees. So you don't know what your body is saying to you because you're too busy taking in different bombarding energies and spirits. So therefore, when you get rid of all that, when you close down the blinds, when you concentrate, you think and you feel your body, you can tell that there is a difference between organic versus non-organic foods that you're eating. And over time, it will show you. Over time, it will reveal itself to you. Therefore, when I ate the non-organic food, the simulated fake foods, model sodium glutamates, and other type of unnatural ingredients made up to make this fake food that I was eating at the time, there were some problems going on in my body. There were some issues. I couldn't function right. Eyes didn't want to function right. Body heat started changing. Temperature was off. Getting sick more often. Not being able to sleep more often. Rashes surfacing every so often on the skin level because of this nasty food. Even the sexuality becomes tweaked a little bit. Even the mindset of how I was able to perceive the world changed a little bit. Yes, it can do all that because it's chemicals. It's science, baby. What you eat is chemicals. Look at it as chemicals in your mouth. So next time you need to start thinking what your children are eating too, chemicals, because you're the doctor, mommy or daddy. And then versus the organic food, I can tell as well that the body said, oh, I like this. Oh, this is it. Now, it's not going to be a change in the beginning, but over time, yes. Give it a couple of months to a couple of years, you'll begin to see the results. It's like night and day. It's like night and day, the organic food, the healthy food that's for you, the untouched, the unmolested food. Here we go. Y'all ready? The watermelons with seeds. Oh, yeah, I don't like that. The grapes with seeds. Real food, not modified, enriched bread, natural bread, organic wheat bread. Flaxseed, things that your body can recognize because it's made from earth. Whole foods, straight from the plant. Everything started working out properly for me. But yet you got this so-called, and this guy was older. I know I can say this because this guy was older, gray hair. Yeah, man, I used to do that, man. I worked for them, and yeah, man, you don't worry about it. Food is food. Could you imagine if I was 19 years old going in there trying to do better for myself and eat healthy? I encounter this bozo who's going to tell me that food is just food so I can get sick. And this is the older, like 50 something. Come on now. This is the older guy that I'm talking about where, well, I've been doing this for 24 years. So you can't tell me nothing. So because I've been doing it for 24 years, I need you to trust me. No, buddy, I'm still going to test you and I'm still going to evaluate what you're talking about, because at the end of the day, I'm responsible for what I consume. And I'm definitely responsible for how I consume the information that you give me. Because just because you've been doing it for 24 years don't mean that You're not trying to sicken me like you are, apparently. So, therefore, in the nutshell, you have what it means to be a dumb adult. That doesn't mean I'm putting people down. This isn't, yeah, it's stepping on toes, but this isn't for the sake of attacking or making people look lesser than what they are. And don't trust those with the badge. And I'm not saying because they do have 23 or 24 something years doing something that they are 100% wrong. What I am saying is oftentimes there is no evolution because of those people in that position, because you have 100,000 sheeple who is following them and never question and never try to think about the modern day. You don't live in what happened yesterday. You need to understand what's going on today. Live in the here and now, and you'll be able to see how things are different than what they used to be. You don't learn how to just go along to get along. Sometimes you got to barrel a path of what is the best thing to do, what you need to do for your situation, not versus what the book said and what this old fogey leftover, I'm stuck on myself individual want to tell you because they think they have the authority to do so. Authority be damned. Be responsible for yourself. I teach liberation here. I teach you to be the best version of yourself here. Life is bigger than us. The moment we begin to realize that, you're going to learn something every day and you evolve past what you thought you knew, because we can be wrong. And sometimes we are wrong. We just need to learn how to man up or woman up and deal with it. That's the difference between being a child and being a dumb adult.